Good evening, Gotham, and welcome to GNN, Gotham News Network.
Tonight, Gotham's crime wave continues, and we examine the complex legacy of the city's masked vigilante.
The latest on Attorney Harvey Dent and Victor Zsasz, plus more. I'm Arthur Sterling.
And I'm Isabel, and this is Gotham City News Tonight.
We will be back after this break. Up first, Crime Watch. Tensions are running high tonight in Gotham's East End and the docks as violent crime continues to surge. These neighborhoods, long plagued by poverty and long-standing mob influence, are seeing a sharp rise in criminal activity. Tonight, Gotham's crime wave continues, and we examine the complex legacy of the city's masked vigilante.
Over the past 72 hours alone, there have been reports of aggravated assault, protection rackets targeting small businesses, and what authorities suspect was a turf-related shootout just blocks from the border of the East End. These are not isolated events. Residents say these communities are under siege.
And now on the legal front is opening in the fight against Gotham's underworld. District Attorney Harvey Dent is drawing attention citywide for what he's calling a targeted dismantling of the underworld criminal empire starting from the bottom.
Instead of going after the top brass, Dent is pursuing charges against Lenny, Clubs, Montoya, a mid-level enforcer with a violent record and alleged ties to the Falcone family's extortion wing. Montoya was arrested late last week during a raid on a warehouse in the Cauldron, where investigators recovered ledgers, surveillance photos, and large quantities of untraceable cash.
Legal analysts say Dent's strategy marks a shift. Rather than charging high-profile figures who often escape conviction, he's aiming to weaken the base of Gotham's criminal hierarchy one link at a time.
Montoya is just the start, Dent said in a statement to GNN earlier today. You pull at the bottom threads of this network, and eventually the whole thing unravels. No one's untouchable. Not anymore.
If successful, the case could provide a legal framework for future prosecutions, especially if Montoya cooperates. Sources inside the DA's office suggest plea negotiations may already be underway, though Dent has publicly stated he's willing to go to trial.
And in a city where mob trials rarely stick, all eyes will be watching to see if Harvey Dent's gamble pays off, or if Gotham's justice system continues to fall short in the face of organized crime.
We will be back after this break.
Welcome to the building where your neighbor might kill you. Tight-knit communities can hide the darkest crimes. When tragedy strikes Heaven Heights condominium, no one is safe. Detective Jack Thompson must untangle a web of lies, old grudges, and deadly secrets to find the truth before another body drops. Set in a condominium where luxury meets murder, this gripping mystery will keep you guessing until the final reveal.
Back to our top story for tonight. It has now been 5 years since Gotham's skyline was first haunted by the shadowy figure the media dubbed the Batman. What began as whispers of a myth has solidified into something very real and very divisive.
From urban legend to nightly fixture, the Batman has reshaped the rhythm of this city's underworld. But what exactly has 5 years of his crusade yielded? Our exclusive GNN poll shows a city split nearly down the middle. 48% of Gothamites report feeling safer because of his presence, but 42% believe the so-called vigilante has escalated the city's criminal arms race, provoking new threats rather than extinguishing old ones.
Indeed, the data tells a story that is anything but simple. Petty crime and gang-related violence have seen sharp declines in neighborhoods like Burnley and the Bowery, areas where Batman is frequently cited. Yet, Gotham has also witnessed an unprecedented surge in a new breed of criminal, theatrical, symbolic, and terrifying. Analysts warn that this shift may be the result of a psychological arms race of criminals increasingly turning to spectacle in order to challenge the mythos Batman represents.
Psychologists have called it the Gotham Syndrome, a pattern of escalation where criminals adopt personas and elaborate schemes in a bid to gain infamy in a city overshadowed by a caped crusader. And while many applaud Batman's results, the question remains, at what cost?
For law enforcement, this dual reality has created unprecedented complexity. Commissioner James Gordon, one of the few officials to ever publicly comment on Batman, spoke to GNN about the department's position.
You might see this with questions of the cities, and I have anyone more our challenges of another parity.
Here's Commissioner James Gordon.
The Gotham City Police Department's duty is to uphold the law. That means accountability, transparency, and a clear chain of command. We're aware of the individual operating outside those parameters. Yes, there have been times when his actions disrupted dangerous criminal activity, but that doesn't mean we endorse vigilantism. Our goal is to reinforce public safety through lawful means, through better training, stronger community partnerships, and rebuilding trust in the badge. We don't turn a blind eye to results, but we also don't rewrite the law for convenience. Everyone in Gotham has to play by the same rules.
Gordon's balancing act hasn't been easy. Sources inside the GCPD describe internal tensions, with some officers quietly supporting the Bat's work, while others see him as a dangerous wildcard, undermining the chain of command.
And yet, for all the controversy, Batman has become a part of Gotham's DNA. His signal now lights up the night sky like a warning both to criminals and perhaps to the city itself. The question isn't whether Gotham can live without him, but whether it still knows how to live with him. We will be back after this break.
Welcome back to GNN. Turning now to business news. A new and controversial development is poised to reshape Gotham's luxury nightlife scene. And at the center of it all, a name that has long stirred debate among both city officials and criminal watchdog groups.
Oswald Cobblepot, a figure once written off as a small-time hustler and frequent guest of GCPD holding cells, has announced the grand opening of his highly publicized upscale nightclub, the ICEBERG Lounge. The venue, set to open its doors this Friday, is being touted as the jewel of Gotham's downtown entertainment district.
The announcement comes with fanfare and no small amount of skepticism. Mr. Cobblepot, now styling himself as a, quote, legitimate entrepreneur, has been linked, both formally and informally, to a number of known underworld figures over the past decade. While no major charges have stuck, the pattern of associations and his reputation in Gotham's seedier circles have kept many eyebrows permanently raised.
The ICEBERG Lounge itself is said to be nothing short of extravagant, complete with a rooftop cigar bar, imported marble flooring, a private VIP casino space, and what Cobblepot is calling Gotham's first cryogenic cocktail experience. Promotional materials promise celebrity appearances, curated jazz performances, and a security presence rivaling that of a private embassy.
But where exactly the capital for such a venture has come from remains a tightly guarded secret. Financial transparency groups have flagged several shell corporations believed to be linked to the ICEBERG's funding structure, many of which are registered offshore. Cobblepot's legal team has refused to comment on those allegations.
Business analysts are calling this one of the most, quote, ambitious and opaque hospitality launches in Gotham's recent memory. Here's GNN's business affairs correspondent Rachel Keyes with more insight.
The ICEBERG Lounge is the kind of project that screams legitimization play, a strategic investment meant to clean up public perception while offering a lucrative front. On paper, the club is fully licensed. The permits are in place, and the contractors hired are some of Gotham's best. But the speed of development, coupled with Cobblepot's notorious past, suggests we may be seeing the birth of a new kind of criminal enterprise, one with velvet ropes and bottle service. Whether it's a genuine reinvention or simply old tricks in a tuxedo remains to be seen.
GCPD sources say there will be plainclothes officers monitoring the grand opening, and licensing officials are prepared to conduct surprise inspections in the coming weeks. Still, some city leaders have voiced concern over how someone with Cobblepot's background was able to secure zoning permits and liquor licenses with such little resistance.
In a statement released earlier today, Cobblepot said, "I've paid my dues. I'm a businessman now, not a bird in a cage. The ICEBERG Lounge will be the crown jewel of Gotham nightlife, and anyone who doubts me is welcome to stay home and miss out."
The ICEBERG opens Friday night at 9 p.m. with an invite-only gala, and while the guest list is hush-hush, sources say a number of Gotham's elite, politicians, athletes, and even members of the city's arts scene are expected to attend.
We will be back after this break. And now for quick takes with breaking updates from multiple fronts. First, chaos at the Gotham docks overnight. GCPD sources confirmed that a major illegal shipment, believed to involve military-grade firearms and counterfeit tech, was intercepted in what appears to be a coordinated sting gone awry. But here's the twist. By the time police arrived, the cargo was scattered, several trucks abandoned, and a half-dozen alleged smugglers had fled.
According to witnesses, the first on scene wasn't the GCPD. It was him. Blurry footage captured on a dock worker's phone shows a shadowy figure engaging with multiple suspects under the cover of darkness, appearing to disarm and disable them before disappearing into the night. It has all the hallmarks of Gotham's most elusive force of nature, the Batman.
This marks the third incident at the docks in just 2 weeks where evidence suggests the vigilante intervened before authorities could make formal arrests. GCPD officials offered no comment, but off-the-record sources admit the Bat effect is complicating their operations, even as it appears to be saving lives.
And it's not the only disruption in Gotham's underworld tonight. Earlier this afternoon, Victor Zsasz, the notorious serial killer known for slashing his victims then with self-inflicted scars, was reportedly spotted fleeing from law enforcement near the Bristol Cove area.
What followed was described as a chaotic foot that ended with Zsasz leaping into Gotham Bay from a shipping crane. Divers were deployed, but there's been no confirmation of a recovery. The manhunt continues, and the city remains on edge.
Community leaders are demanding answers. At a press briefing outside City Hall, several neighborhood representatives expressed outrage that someone as dangerous as Zsasz remains at large. Two schools in Bristol Cove were briefly placed on lockdown earlier today after multiple eyewitness reports him wandering the perimeter in broad daylight.
And elsewhere, anger is boiling over. At a town hall in East End, residents expressed frustration with rising crime and what they describe as a lack of visible, consistent policing.
One woman, a 30-year resident of the neighborhood, told GNN, quote, "We don't need capes flying over us. We need streetlights that work, cops that care, and a city that hasn't forgotten us." The room erupted in applause. Her words echo the growing tension between those who welcome the Batman's brand of justice and those who see him as a symptom of a city still teetering on the edge.
And while the skies over Gotham may be partly cloudy tomorrow with a slight chance of rain, tonight, the storm remains firmly on the ground. That's the news for tonight. Join us tomorrow.
We'll have more on the mysterious Diamond District thefts and a disturbing new development in the East End.
And I'm Arthur Sterling, and thank you for joining us tonight.
I'm Isabel. Good night, Gotham.